Hi, this is Bennett, and I'm going to show you a game that I've been recently playing that came out earlier this month in January called The Witness. And it is developed by a developer named Jonathan Blow, and it was available on PC and PS4 for $40. And surprisingly, there was no exchange rate markup for the Canadian rate, so I got this for 40 PlayStation dollars. And instead of just talking about my life and kind of explaining what this game is all about, I do want to talk a little bit more about what to me The Witness represents, what sort of game this is, how I feel its impact on the market will be, or what sort of impact it will have on the market, and kind of like just my feeling on puzzle games, independent games, and games that cost $40 in general that are at the moment digital only. So The Witness is a puzzle game essentially where you are a person stranded alone on an island with only a whole bunch of line puzzles to solve in all these great beautiful locations kind of like all around set around the map. And I can kind of show you using the L2 button to kind of run and kind of show you exactly what sort of things and things I'll I guess stuff that I'll be able to look at and stuff for puzzles to solve. So I solve these kind of like line puzzles and they form different patterns, and you're basically supposed to be tracing a line over a maze into an air into in a way and a pattern that essentially solves the puzzle. And instead of just explaining all of this, I'll kind of show it to you myself what the puzzles essentially mean. But in the meantime, I do want to talk about why I like and kind of dislike this game. But overall, I generally enjoyed it for the amount of time that I played with it so far. The Witness is $40. And as a $40 independent title, I had a lot of skepticism about actually wanting to play it or not. The thing that pulled me over, like I've always been interested in playing like a really cool puzzle game, but the main reason why I really wanted to play this particular game is because I love puzzle games, and there's always been quite a few that I've enjoyed, mainly the Brain Age, the Professor Layton, like Tetris. There's even some like older games, like for example, Wetrix and Tetrasphere on the N64 that are puzzle games that I've really enjoyed. There's a whole bunch of other ones that I've played too, but being on an island, being able to kind of solve a whole bunch of puzzles and figure out where to go from there, that's the kind of thing that really intrigued me. But $40 kind of put me off because I was thinking, well, it costs $40. That is practically the cost of either a a used AAA game, or it's the price of a lot of games that it's the price of a 3DS game practically. And everyone says that this game is worth 80 to 90, can be played for 80 to 90 to 100 hours, and $40 is not a big deal at all considering the amount of value and the production values that you get with the game. And I was still a little bit skeptical at first because I told myself, well, you're just walking around and solving puzzles. How could that be worth $40? But the truth is that the main reason why I picked up this game was because everybody was praising it and everyone was enjoying it. So here's a basic easy line puzzle. I start here at the circle and I go up to the line, and that just activates it. So that's kind of a good quick start to a quick example is what one of the puzzles kind of looks like, even though that one was particularly easy. But yeah, essentially it's a $40 game. And I only picked it up because it had really, really, really high reviews. And I'm kind of guilty of buying games that people hype up, especially the ones that are worth like a lot of money, but because lots of review sites and gaming forums and stuff gave it 10s and 9s out of 10s, then I'd be willing to play it. The last game that I did that for was actually back in 2013 when a little game called The Last of Us came out and took the world over by storm because it was considered one of the best narrative games ever. It was supposed to be such a great like action game and had such great storytelling, and I bought a copy of that. I told myself I would buy that game only if it got at least a 9 or a 10 out of 10 overall average by all the great critics that I really liked. And you know what? It did, and I actually bought the game. And you know what happened? I never played it. So it's unfortunate because I consider myself a big gamer, but people would say to me, The Last of Us is a game that you definitely have to play, so why aren't you playing it? And I told myself I didn't want to play it because I enjoy zombie, or I don't know if say zombie games, post-apocalyptic wasteland games. I didn't play it because I usually enjoy the Uncharted games. Like, I really do love the Uncharted games. Like, Uncharted 2 is one of my favorite games of all time, and I really enjoyed Uncharted 3 when I played through that. And there's just something about The Last of Us that didn't necessarily compel me to want to pick it up, but it did compel me to buy it. And the reason why I bought it was because everybody else loved it. So here's another, I think this is another puzzle. So let's see if I can figure out how to do this one. Like this? No. Like this maybe? No, that doesn't let me go through the tree, so that's odd. What am I supposed to do? I grab that one. Let's grab this one too. Maybe if I take both of these. There we go. So something is opening up. I'm not sure what it is. Oh, that's odd. Oh, okay, so these open up. This is really intriguing. Oh boy. I think I had to solve a puzzle kind of using this as kind of like a maze to be able to actually get through it. So I need to find a really good perspective that helps me understand how this works. Or is it this one? I don't think it's this one. So it has to be something like this. And this is kind of the part of the fun of the game, is kind of looking at the lines and figuring out from there where to solve the puzzles. No. Do I have to be like this? Yeah, not really super sure. Let's try one of this one. I don't think I can get into, so yeah, I'll figure it out. But yeah, essentially, Witness. It's another game that was super highly lauded. Everybody loved it. Got 10 out of 10s on Metacritic and forums and gaming sites that I really enjoyed, and I picked it up. And you know what? I'm playing this game right now, and it's pretty fun. Like, this is a game I could easily see being worth $40. I don't know if it's my favorite puzzle game of all time. There actually is, sorry about that, a puzzle game that I really do enjoy, probably more than any others. But I want to save that one day for like a video that I want to make. Oh, I think I need to do this first, just to get an idea of how to get through this sort of maze. Let's do this. Get to the other end here. Yeah, that's how you do it. All right, so I just have to follow this kind of like stencil indentation and just find the right positioning from there, and that's how it works. So a little bit confusing, but yeah. Let me grab some water in a second. As I was saying, The Witness is a puzzle game that costs $40, and surprisingly, I've actually seen quite a few skeptics kind of like disparage the game because they're not exactly sure if the game is deservedly worth of the $40. And I want to say to them, even though this is an independent game, don't decide not to buy it mainly because you don't want to, because you don't think it's worth that much money. If you think it's worth that much money, just buy it. If you enjoy it, then enjoy it, right? So that's kind of like an ideal in life that people should have when it comes to like actually deciding whether to buy games or not. Like, if you think it's worth it, feel free to buy it. Don't feel guilty if you have the... Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? It kind of lighted out. Did I have to do this all over again? Lame. That is super lame. Why Jonathan Blow? Why you do this to me? Why you do this to me? Okay, let's figure out the right camera position. Maybe like this? Let's try this way. And that way I would have to do this. Nope, that's not it either. And then that causes me to have to redo that part again. So that really sucks. And that just leads on to my other point. The game designer, Jonathan Blow, has said time and time again how much money and how much of his own, like, money and effort and time he put into his own game. He's designed these puzzles a long time ago, but most of the game development time went into actually preparing the levels and the world and stuff. And part of me has to really applaud that, because I haven't shown you a lot of the island yet, but it's actually really, really beautiful looking and kind of shows you a whole bunch of stuff that really makes the game kind of really neat to see and really neat to play. But I don't know. Okay, let's try this from this angle instead. And that way that might change how I view things. And then if I follow the line here and I go like this, and that solved it. Okay, that was a little bit tricky, but I think I got the getting the hang of it right now. So now I think that opens up into this line, but how do I get to that position? Maybe if I go around to this side, get a better understanding. Okay, so that's what it looks like. There's a pattern right here. It's kind of like a zigzag from, okay, considering I'm looking at this backward, it goes from the right, bottom right, bottom left, bottom right, down again. So 1, 2, 3, 4 zigzags. And I wonder if that necessarily that down in this way. So go from the bottom right, down to the bottom left, down to the bottom right, down like this. No, that didn't work. Okay, let's try bottom right, like this, like this. No, and that causes that to reset, so I gotta do that over again, which is fine. You know, it's a pain in the butt, Jonathan Blow. I don't know why you do this to me. Like this? Yeah, okay. Got the hang of it. Okay, gotta figure it out. So, 1, 2, okay, so it looks like goes from one corner. It leans more towards the bottom left, and then not as much on the bottom right. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So it should be something like goes more towards the bottom left. So put one down here, and I make this a little bit longer, and then I make this also a bit longer down here. There you go. Okay, I solved it. But yeah, okay, I'm just gonna say it out now. My favorite puzzle games are the ones that have a narrative that compel me to want to complete the puzzles in order to see what the story has in store. And the games that have really been able to do that for me and kind of shown me like how great it is to have kind of like a marriage of puzzles and story together is the Professor Layton series, especially. And this is kind of like a spoiler for one day when I want to do my top 50 games of all time. One of my favorite puzzle games ever is Professor Layton and the Unwound Future, which is the third game in the trilogy that came out for the Nintendo DS. And I think that was around 2010, 2011-ish in North America. And that's one of my favorite games of all time because not only did it have fantastic, cute, and adorable puzzles, oh, and that's where the line goes to, but it's also has one of the most heart-wrenching and beautiful stories ever in a game. And the Unwound Future, you can kind of guess that it has some sort of like time travel elements on it, and there's so many great plot twists and turns that go with the Professor Layton puzzle games. But essentially, I wonder how you solve this one. Gotta find some sort of like, oh, there's a diagram here. I think I have to follow this layer. So I'm going to see if I can just somehow match these together. But yeah, essentially, Professor Layton is one of the great unsung protagonists of video games back in the day. And it's also a great, like, kind of like backdrop for a whole bunch of games. Because you've got murder mysteries, you've got, he's an archaeologist, so he's finding lost treasures and stuff. You've got the craziest plot twists and the craziest like plot contrivances in games, and Professor Layton kind of puts that all in style because he's a gentleman and he loves solving puzzles. And you know from playing the games that his personality is basically like, hey, I have some questions. I'm just gonna solve a puzzle to figure it out. Or hey, Luke, who is like his protege / assistant / like young boy toy friend, hey, this. I bet you should solve this, but let's give you a puzzle to figure it out. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly what I'm supposed to do here. Maybe if I follow this way and just somehow get these in line. Yeah, maybe like that, and then I can go like this. No. Wait, right here maybe? Yeah, that solved it. Oh, that was tricky. I was looking at this one, trying to get this one, and it turns out it was actually here the leaves, and that somehow created like a little pattern here, but it works because you have your reticle, and it can't go past where the leaves would intersect. So I guess that's how you solve these type of puzzles. And then you go to, I think it's this one, and that is probably solved using this one. These things are just so like mind-blowing now that I think about it. Maybe try this one. No, because that's blocked right. Oh, no, right here. Here. Yeah. Nice. Oh, cool. I got that. It was on the other side, and that is kind of crazy. Okay. What else do I kind of feel about Jonathan Blow? Jonathan Blow is a really cool game designer. I super duper admire him. I watched Indie Game the movie when that came out, and I think I watched it. It was either on Netflix or it was somehow free on Steam or something. And that's how I managed to watch it, and I really enjoyed like the kind of struggles that he had to go through. And he kind of kickstarted the whole like indie craze by making Braid, which became such a huge success on the Xbox 360 store. And you gotta admire him. Like, it's such a cool idea, such a cool concept. It's a platformer, but it has time traveling mechanics, so you can rewind your jumps, and that actually adds to doing more jumps and more things to actually solve puzzles and stuff. And I kind of think he's a genius, but I also think he's kind of crazy, and that's actually really cool because I feel like a lot of the game designers kind of have to be crazy if they want to make good games in general. So let's see if I can create some sort of like pattern here, like right here. Can I get through any of these branches? No, that's weird. Nope. Okay, so if I kind of just get a close look to figure out, I think this is probably the line that's following, but that can't work because you can't get through touch any of these. So maybe if I just go this way. No, that doesn't work, so it's a little bit odd. Yeah, I think it has something to do with this. Like, this lines up perfectly. So that has to be a solution. So left twice, up twice, one left, up once, right twice. Oh god, I have to write this down because I'm not gonna remember this. So left twice. Let me just use a thing to write it down. So L2, and then up 2, followed by L1, followed by R2, and I think followed by down 1. So I'm gonna write that down. D1, and then right 1, and then up 2, and then left 3, and that should be it. Okay. So I'm going to do that, and I'm just going to follow the little thing that I just wrote down. So first I start here, L2, up 2, L1. Oh, how does that work? Okay, I missed one up. Okay, yeah, up 1, R2, down 1, R1, up 2, and then left all the way 3. Okay, so that was tricky. Okay, so let's do this one, and I think this one here is pretty straightforward. I bet it has something to do with this, but they don't necessarily connect to each other, so I don't know if that necessarily works. But maybe it does. So if I go the top right, move 2, then go down 1. Oh, but then do I need to use this somehow to help me out with the puzzle? But that was the solution for this one, because that's the line that I focused there. So maybe I had to do it twice. Yeah. Oh, okay. So they should form some sort of pattern. so that I'm able to actually get a solution. Like this? No. It's like that. Down. And then left 2, down 2. Do I go down 1, left 2, down 2? Or do I do it this way? Maybe if I just somehow look here. Because, yeah, okay, I see. Maybe if I do this. Maybe that gives me a solution, or... Yeah, I'm not really super sure. Okay, yeah, I think it's like this. If I just align the puzzle properly. Here, okay, so... Down, nope. Down, left, further down, or down like this? No. Okay, so down, left, down, down. Let's go right, up, right, and then let's go down. I can't go this way, so let's go down one more. I think it's caused a bunch of curves, so like this, like this, like this. Yeah, and that did it. Okay. And I think that leads somewhere in particular. I don't know, that forms another select image, and that leads into there. And let's check that out. I'm gonna do a quick run. Oh, there we go. And this one's easy. Just do this. And I think I finished the level. I managed to solve this this cool, kind of looks like a, oh, it's a monastery. So I figured all of those out. And that was, I guess, is that a gold trophy? I can't really tell, but I'm not sure. But it's supposed to shoot out a laser to let me know that I've solved these ranges of puzzles. And that is probably going to be my run through The Witness. It is $40 on the PlayStation Store. And on Steam, I think on Steam it's like 43 or 44 Canadian, but I think it's absolutely worth it. If you want to give it a try, I have a friend who is, I think, flying through the game a lot faster than I am, and he seems to really enjoy it too. So maybe I'll just have to ask him if I can get any tips from him on how to solve maybe some of the puzzles further down. Because there's one where you have to walk and you create a line behind you, and that solves the puzzle. And oh, there's a laser. So that leads up to that top thing there. So, yeah, craziness. There's only 2 lasers? Oh, that's weird. Because I thought there was this one. Yeah, there's this one coming here. So I guess I'm going to head to my next area and then figure out how I feel, I guess, a little bit more about The Witness. But overall, if I had to give this a rating, it would probably be an 8 out of 10. Like, a game that's definitely fun and worth getting, but I don't know if it's necessarily like for everybody. Like it's a puzzle game and it's an exploration game. You get to see all these cool things, and there are also all these little audio recordings they can find that give you completely weird, random, out of context quotes. But overall, I really enjoy this game, and it's probably going to be my game of the month because there hasn't been many other games that came out in January. And considering I'm recording this on February 1st, it probably might be the only other game that I'll be playing for a while, except for maybe the new Final Fantasy Explorers game, which I'm kind of playing with my cousins right now. And yeah, that's me playing The Witness. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to message me, or if you're like one of the few of like the few subscribers who actually like keep an eye on when I make these videos, thank you again, and tell people to subscribe to me so then I'll have more self-confidence and a bigger ego to boost when I decide to record these things and show you all the video games that I own, because right now I'm like kind of like in the thousands at this point, and I have too many, and I got this capture card and it finally works, and yeah, I'll just make a video for all of them eventually. So yeah, that's me playing The Witness, and there's more puzzles, but I'm gonna just take it easy. You guys take care and enjoy. Have a good night. Bye.